Welcome everyone once again. It's a Saturday, and we are back, and we are very happy to have you today in our program. This is me, the Uganda Zambia Coalition Forum for Refugees, and we are very happy. I'm the host, Dennis, with my guest and my panelists that are also joining us from Studio B. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, then we start with our topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Lydian, and for those who have begun with us, it's not your first time to see my face here. I'm Lydian. I'm the guest on today. I hope you enjoy the show. Share. Don't forget to share, like, comment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome my panelists also from the other side, also to say hi to us. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Thank you very much. I think there is a technical problem of the volume, uh, and we are going to. I think there is a problem of the microphone. So let us continue with our topic of today. Today we are going to discuss. Today we are going to discuss the topic, which is LGBTQ plus is not a Western. So, may come back. So you can introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, good evening our viewers, wherever you're watching from, you are most welcome on this show. By names, I'm Gaitana Duekango, a panelist on this show. This is me talking, so you are most welcome. We are really pleased to be with you once again on this Saturday, and wherever you have, tune in and listen, keep following our program. Thank you.
Good evening once more. I'm Vincent Mugira talking. I thank you all for following us, and I'm glad to serve you through this program, wherever you're watching from, all over Africa, Western side, around the world. You're doing a great thing, and we appreciate your support to our program. Thank you. Please keep watching, like our program, and enjoy our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are going to start our topic of today, and our topic of today is LGBTQ plus is not a Western idea. So what we're going to discuss the whole thing, the whole like belief of African that has everything we have seen this and we have had this that the people always keep saying this thing is Western, this thing is Western, the Westerns are bringing behaviors in Africa and but me personally I really wonder when they brought the religion because as Africans we had our own beliefs. We had no church. So when they came, the Westerners, and they brought the idea of going to church and pray. What is this Western? So I don't think that this thing of how can I call it politics. The say LGBTQ plus it's Western and they are the ones that are teaching our kids this and this and this. On my side, I say no because it's not true. Today, that's what we're going to discuss about. I will invite my panelists to give us some views. I shall come back. Thank you.
Oh, good. Hello, thank you, Mr. Dennis, for this opportunity once more. To do with African traditions and beliefs, and to relate it to LGBTQI plus community, and all to do with LGBTQ or homosexual information that is now circulating in Africa. They believe that this is a Western culture. Africans believe that it's the Westerners who have brought in the act or the homosexuality in Africa, but I strongly oppose that. Yes, I believe people have been having their cultures, but I can tell you that one of the strongest cultures that the Africans have had, and actually which I liked first, is that they have been keeping secrets. That one I gave them a credit. But it is through this secret that even people back through the years, they have been practicing homosexuality. And no one could come up unless they know themselves. They have been practicing homosexuality amongst themselves, but one could know his partner or her partner, and they kept the secret, and it never used to sound. So it is only that when whites came in, or when Western information ushered in Africa, they opened people's minds. They promoted the rights of those people who have been fearing to come out to express what they are, they really are. So through the promotion of human rights, it is always boosted by Westerners mostly, and that is why Africans think that homosexuality is brought by Western culture, which is wrong. It has been a natural feeling or natural love among those who were born in that state. I mean, in that kind. So people have always been enjoying love, LGBTQ. It's only that it is during this era that it is ushered out, it is now distinguished, it is now talked about everywhere, it is being saturating, which never used to be in the past years. So I strongly disagree that it is a Western culture, or it was brought by, it is an idea of Westerners. Africans have always been practicing homosexuality through thousands of years. Back through the years, it has been there, but it has been practiced secretly. So the difference right now is that right now, I can say that I'm a gay. I say in public without fear, which was not the case through the past years or centuries ago. So that is the only difference, that right now, human rights are coming in light where I can express what I am. In those years, you could find that an elderly person, maybe a man like me, when he's still controlled by his family, according to the African tradition society, a man never became a man before his parents, as long as they were still alive. So if at all they never believed in such, they could still expel that person from the family or from the community. And those are the reasons why they also kept it quiet. But I can strongly say that it has always been there. So that is what I can say. I conclude this point, stretching it more, that LGBTQ in Africa is not an idea of Westerners. Before Westerners ushered in Africa, it was practiced already. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much. What I can add on his point is, I personally, I can say this is a human right, because me love who I love, it's my right. I strongly know that I'm attached or I'm feeling this person. So if you force me to love someone that I don't have feelings for, that means you are using over me. So I'm going to welcome Gaetano also to give us his thinking about today's topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our host Dennis, in Studio A, for us on this side of Studio B. Today's topic is really a wonderful topic. Like LGBTQ is not a Western idea. It's a natural feeling. Basically, before the Western culture came out, initially people were there, as my colleague has said, like people used to practice homosexuality, though they would not come out because of so many issues that would rise up because of the African belief. You know, we in Africa we have the African traditional norms and customs that we do follow. So by then it was really hard for someone to come out of the blue and say that like I'm a gay, or I'm a lesbian, or I'm a bisexual, or I'm a queer. So it was really hard. But now, since the Western culture came in, it has really brought the freedom of speech to people. Because right now, at least you do speak. At least right now, there are so many platforms whereby at least you know that there are so many platforms which are being run by the LGBTQI plus community. There are so many, even the social media platforms, that right now we have so many people that are being like, people have come out to express themselves as who they are, following the human rights, who are there also to defend their rights, as my colleague has also said. But at least he has given people the freedom of expression, because way back you could not express yourself. However much you would apply for jobs, you would apply for jobs, but at the end of it all, if they get to know that you belong to the LGBT community, it will be really hard for you to get that job on merit, unless otherwise, unless maybe the person who is that department is a person that belongs to the LGBT community. So in other words, the African beliefs that they have maybe like about LGBT, like it is a Western culture. Me, I strongly disagree with it, because even the Western culture has really done enough to open up the eyes of Africans. It has done enough to open up, actually, to bring out people who are there, but they don't believe like whatever the feelings they have towards same sex, that it is not there, yet it is true. So it has made people to come out of the blue. The stigma that people had, at least it is what it is reducing. So you find like the Western culture has really done a lot to bring us on the limelight. Because now if you look at the way technology is developing, way back there are so many things that used to happen in the music industry, in the you find in the film industry, there are so many things that used to happen. So you find like the LGBT community was not part of it. It was not part of it. So the Western culture coming in and maybe opening, telling Africans like, this is what, like actually telling Africans that we know there are some people who belong to the LGBT community, and you are there, you are being deep, you are under depression, you are living under stigma, you are being discriminated from all sorts of community, maybe people you stay with, because we know that the people we stay with, they are homophobic. So once they hear about it, it is really absurd. Because now if you know that your family has rejected you, and the Western culture, like right now I can take an example of us here. Most of us were victims of rejection, like victims of family rejection. So now if at all it wasn't the Western culture that opened up, like came up with this idea, like ideas of like LGBT community do exist in every in this world, we wouldn't have been here. At least we would be even in Uganda. That's where we would be even what surviving from. But because of the Western culture coming in to say that we have yeah, some social groups that are supposed to help, because we are nowhere to be seen. Even if right now, if you look at actually the whole world and try to disseminate and say maybe like according to the world, what is the percentage of LGBT community in this world? It is less. It is less, but it doesn't mean that the less population that are there, it is what is there. It's not what is there. There are so many people outside there, who are there, who naturally have feelings for fellow men, or have feelings for fellow what? Women. But it is very hard for them to come out. But at least the Western culture coming up and saying like, yeah, these people, they do exist and they need assistance. It has really helped us. So when you go in terms of employment and education, people are there. But at least you know that most of the people that belong to the LGBT community, they have been discriminated in schools, in employment opportunities, because of their sexual orientation. You find like someone has all the qualities of becoming, maybe of heading, maybe of even being a president, but because of that, because of the fear, because of that stigma that they have, that if at all I come out and say this is who I am, people will not believe in them. People will say that these are what? These are actually, these are all curses that is coming. Maybe this person is going to bring us to our country. So at the end of it all, we find like they are being discriminated. So Africans maybe not believing, like Africans having a say that maybe the LGBT community is a Western culture. It's not. It's not. It's only us that who have failed to take it and maybe accept that these people, whatever that they are doing, or maybe whatever they have accepted to be, it is who they are. Because if at all if at all they had accepted us to do whatever that we feel like our hearts are yearning to do, all these things wouldn't have been there. Even us seeking asylum here wouldn't have been there. But because of the different perspective and the different mentality that we have, so it is the Western culture that opened up our eyes. It opened up people's eyes, because if at all it wasn't because of them, most of the people would have died because of stress. Most of the people would have died because of depression. Most of the people would have died because of actually mental cases would have, even the mental cases would have risen. But the but 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 being like the Western culture coming out, it has really opened up our eyes. Even right now, like being on this program and doing this program, if it wasn't because of the Western culture, because we really appreciate our our boss, Mr. Kato, wherever you are. Thank you so much for bringing out on the limelight to speak about the LGBT community. Because if it wasn't because of you, we wouldn't even have been speaking to. No one would have been there to listen to us. Our voices wouldn't even have reached where it is reaching right now. It is through you that you are making our voices to reach everyone, to know that even these people do exist in Africa. They might think that maybe they might think, Africans might think that it is only the Western people who practice LGBTQ. It is not them. Maybe they are actually they think that they are the ones who are practicing homosexuality. It is not. Even here in Africa, even here right now where I am in Zambia, where I am seeking asylum from, there are so many outside there. But because of the community where we are, because of the African traditional society that we do follow here in Africa, it is what is making people to keep hiding, to keep having issues with the community where they are staying, regardless of their sexual orientation or sexual identity. Because if at all you are known, they will refer you to Sodom and Gomorrah, of which Sodom and Gomorrah was a different thing. About if a person who reads the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah is a different thing. It was not talking about, because by that time all people were sinners. It did not even talk about only the LGBT community. It talked about all who were in that. By that period of time, everyone who was there, they were all sinners. But if at all you come out and say that I belong to the LGBT community in this planet right now in Africa, mostly in Africa, people look at you as a curse to the family. People look at you as a curse to the community. Even in churches where you feel like maybe you'll have some peace of mind, you'll still be disturbed. They will call you a devil worshipper. They will call you all sorts of names. But I truly thank the Western culture for coming up with the support, with each and everything, to say that there are these categories of people that need support. Maybe they need to be given special care, and that is the LGBT community. That you came up with ideas and you've been able to help them. Because if at all you didn't come up with all these kind of ideas, most of the African LGBTQ community people would have died. Because right now there are so many people who have gone to Europe because of being who they are. So we really appreciate. So I strongly stand on my words, on my feet, that the Western culture has no harm on LGBT community. It is a natural bone, it is a natural feeling. So I would like to stop here so that maybe other colleagues can also say something.
Thank you very much, Gaetano, for your views. Also, I stand with him, and I strongly disagree that the beliefs of Africans to say that it's a Western idea, because we have seen a lot is happening in our African country, and African countries that are being supported by Western countries, and they are accepting their support. When it comes to LGBT people, they bring in politics mostly the churches, and mostly the churches they bring in politics. But I ask myself, when these Westerners were bringing in church here in Africa, why didn't they say no? For us, we have our only African gods that we pray for. Don't bring here your God, because in Africa they were no churches. It's a Westerner country. But I wonder if anyone is African didn't refuse that no, we are not going to have this in Africa. So I strongly let me also invite our guest of today to give us what he's thinking about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again, my dear host. I'm Nathan, like I said. So first of all, I won't say much. All been said by the panelists. It's the same thing. I'm going to emphasize this and emphasize it once again. LGBTI has nothing to do with the culture. LGBTI has been in existence way back from since I don't know when the world began. Because if people know like history very well, in ancient Egypt they used to celebrate sexual orientation like same gender what um differentiate. So Egypt, I think Egypt is part of Africa. Just that people are ignorant. Most Africans are ignorant. They don't know all these things, but it has been in existence. And in the same Bible, there is that that believing it because it's the religion that most people mostly that fights against this, and it brought up this that it's Western culture that brought this. But also in the Bible, there is where it's written, though they wrote it in a bad way, that fighting against it, it's written also in the Bible that this thing has been there way before even all these things of religion coming, what. So I emphasize to forward who are out there and they think that mostly us Africans, our African parents, world leaders, they have a strong belief that it's a Western culture, but it wasn't. It's not that. Because to my thinking, so colonialist me like person I wasn't even there and told me that you know what, Lillian, you be this one. It was quite worried here when I grew up and told the kind of feelings that I'm having because this is something that I never copied from someone came like deep from me. That's me. It's me. It's part of me. So people who are out there that think that Western culture, Western culture has the LGBTI. This is inborn. It's natural. It's something that no one comes out and copies from somewhere and be like, I want to be this. No. Okay, yes, there are people who grow up without because of some they be influenced, but most cases that's thing teacher because that's not this is something so to my thinking there should be creation of awareness about there should be engagement of these advocates to those religion leaders, Asian culture leaders to emphasize this and teach them that this is not what what they think it is. All the Western culture, it's about someone. And I think to that's my thoughts that I have about this. At the end, like my view, I still emphasize this. This has nothing to do with the Western culture so much.
Very much. Just say, the study has something add on that we are going to break. Then after the break, we shall start with Gaetano and then go on with the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dennis, once again for this opportunity. Actually, when our guest was speaking, actually, she reminded me of a point that maybe it is. I thought maybe it was necessary for me to air it out. Like if at all people say that there's like the Western culture is part of they are the ones who brought the LGBT community. I don't think whether the LGBT community is part of Western idea, because of like if you try to look way back about she talked about colonialists. You know, colonization did not only maybe start in Western culture or in Western countries. Colonization, it is actually the whites that came, and most of the people that when the whites came and maybe they colonized Africa, most of the Africans even were slaves. They were taken to what? They were taken to those countries. So at the end of it, we find that even right now I can speak. Even you find like even the platforms where we do meet, like maybe where the gay, maybe the lesbian, maybe the bisexual do meet from, you find like even the Africans, they are there. There are so many of them who are there. So now if you say that it is the West, actually it is the Western culture that brought in LGBT, or it is influence of the Western culture about the LGBT community, then I wonder, because now you find like even in the China coca that we always wash, most of you find even Africans are there. They do participate in it and everything. So it is only like the actually Africans, we are primitive. That is what I can say. We are primitive about each and everything that happens. So it is always better if at all before they act or before they speak about something, they should first investigate about it before they say anything. So in other words, we are very primitive. The Western culture has really helped us. So I would love maybe to stop here, because that is the point I wanted to air out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gaetano. Now we are going to a short break. Then after that, we shall come back with the solution. Thank you very much. Let's continue direct to the solutions of today's topic. Then we wind up our talk. So
Tubasikaye, eriria inatimbe ine yakadzati tusome na mama manyivuta munaunza mezimendo mandaiwe. I love you daddy, I love you mommy, I love my parents, I love you all. Oh, abana tusigaba kuti betu, itabana tusigaba kuti betu, ngaba kuti betu baba nyamanga bukwachuo, ababuti betu baba nyamanga bukwachuo tubasikaye inja mubutinga muhambange kilasi ndiyugale kinalya katinanywa mukabya bukire daini nandolo majingu na nyimbira yimbo inabatera omubiri wa mama Nicholas Mati ngaitina ya omumasata mbaminyanya. I love you daddy, I love you mommy, I love my parents, I love you all. Oh, abana tusigaba kuti betu, itabana tusigaba kuti betu, ngaba kuti betu baba nyamanga bukwachuo, ababuti betu baba nyamanga bukwachuo tubasikaye. Bakabona lebeya banakuwa kausibo kwa shanguda lebeya shangu bimwele tukusika bona ito tuita babuti mwire tubambendeke. I love you daddy, I love you mommy, I love my parents, I love you all. Oh.
Thank you very much for that break. This is Me Talk Show, and please don't forget to always subscribe, to like and comment. Mostly comments are very important for us to know where we are heading. Now we look straight forward to the solution of today's topic, to see what can be put in place to stop this politics of saying this is a Westerner culture, because we have seen a lot of things that Westerners have done here in Africa, and they are not, they are African countries also to accept the LGBTQ rate. So let's go straight to the because of today. I will start with my panelists over there. Then after the solutions, we are sharing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, our viewers. It is so sad that Africa, in different countries in Africa, they are still ranking very high in being too homophobic towards LGBTQI plus community. I think there is a need to clear that mindset in people that homosexuality is a Western idea. And to do that, to me, I think that there is a need of sensitization among the Africans, to begin with Uganda, Zambia, and then the rest, because these are the worst countries I've so far seen where homosexuality is too much opposed. So people should be taught and be trained much more about human rights. There should be introduced different talk shows on radios, different TV stations, teaching the public and bringing out the truth, showing the people how this is love, so that the same way they feel the other way, it is the same way homosexuals feel when they are in love. So it is mutual feeling, it is not adopted feeling, and I don't think someone can teach someone to love or to have feelings, but it comes naturally. So Africans have failed to understand it. I extend this message to African leaders, African activists who have a say to the public. Extend this message that people may understand and know the rights of being a homosexual. Let homosexuals feel what they are. Those who do not belong to the community, let them be what they are. That is who they are also. But they should not interfere with others' lives. They should not interfere with other people's feelings. I don't think it is the right thing. So people should be taught, and get much information about respecting human rights. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much, and that's what I have been saying since we started this show today. This is human rights, and mostly African religions have not, or like they have misused this right, because someone's feeling or someone's, because even the baby has those days, there is hope for this, there is this and this, there is, but I don't know how people they interpret the Bible that they always teach us in that, and when it comes to someone's right, you hear your eyes, you seem as if you haven't read, like you haven't read the point. So, thank you very much, Gaetano. You can add on, and then after that we shall have our guest and end up for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our host Dennis, in Studio A. Basically talking about this possible solutions that can be done in actually in taking that mindset away from Africans that the Western culture is not part of the LGBT idea. So to me, I would think like African traditional society basically begins with the family. So me, what I would think maybe it would be like the family acceptance. Because if at all our families, because African tradition is made up of the families, it begins with us. Because if at all like families do not exist, wouldn't even have all these African tradition, actually the cultural norms and the culture, actually the culture, traditional African traditional norms and culture wouldn't have been there. But it is because if you talk about the belief, actually if you talk about the African traditional society, we don't know where it started from. How do we know that even it is the whites that brought it? But we were not even there. So me, what I would think mostly that should be done is all about the family acceptance. Because if at all if at all the government actually, if the government initializes on family acceptance about maybe the LGBT community, it would have not been an issue. Because now if at all your family accepts you who you are, and the feelings you have towards maybe your same sex, it wouldn't have been an issue. All these beliefs that maybe they are talking, that maybe it is like saying that maybe being an LGBT person or being a gay person means that maybe you belong to the Sodom and Gomorrah, maybe to a caste, maybe to the community. It wouldn't have been there, because if at all these families are all, the government initializes actually them to be told that these people do exist in the community. So if at all you have them in your families or you have them wherever you are, accept them as who they are, because it is not, they also don't have, actually they also don't have, they also don't, they don't also wish, actually they did not also want to be who they are, but from nowhere it is born naturally. So if at all the family accepts that, you find that even the beliefs, or maybe even whatever they say about maybe the LGBT community wouldn't have been there, because it starts from the family, and the family is part of the traditions, the traditional norms and customs that we come from. So if it wasn't there, all this wouldn't have been an issue. Even talking about like maybe the LGBT community was maybe a Western idea, wouldn't have been there, because if the family have accepted maybe Gaetano as I am, all the things wouldn't have been there. So in that way, it would have eliminated most of the people from maybe chasing away their family members away from home. People would have stayed with their families in peace and in love. So that is all that actually, if at all that was done, it would have reduced all the stigma, maybe the discrimination that we have in the societies, the homophobia we have within the communities where we stay. All those would have reduced. But then also another thing I would love to talk about is also the social cycle support from maybe from the from the government itself. Being a Ugandan, if at all we had maybe some representatives from the LGBT community that would go and speak maybe to the government that, you know what, these people that you say, that these people, this special category of people you talk about, they're so meaningful to us, and to the society as large, because there are so many things that have been, that LGBT community has brought in existence that have never been there. So in other words, it has boosted the economy of each and every country, even where countries where they say that they signed maybe the anti-homosexuality bill, the anti-homosexual bills. You find that the economy are being boosted, but for those that are still standing against them, that's why you're seeing the economy are going down. So if at all like we have some representatives in those government settings, it would have helped a lot. All things would have risen up. Things wouldn't have been the way we are seeing it right now. But at least now we thank the Western culture for opening up our eyes. Because if it wasn't because of them, most of us actually wouldn't have been here. Most of us wouldn't have existed. But we thank God that at least the Western culture is the one that has opened up our eyes. So at least now we can speak freely, we can communicate, we can do each and everything because of that right. Freedom of expression is always there. However much in some countries it is like, maybe if you talk about our brothers in the Muslim community, it is still an abomination But with time, they will also accept and know that these people, it's who they are. So we have nothing to fight against them. So allow me to stop here, maybe, so that my guest can also say something.
Thank you very much, Gaetano. I'm going to welcome my guest today. Also to add on, then we can also we shall wind up.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So basically, for me, I'm gonna say this. Creation of the society. There has to be education in schools instead of bringing it in a bad way. Schools teach this that it's about something instead of emphasizing the right. So in school, teaching the right thing about I know that about us and the religious leaders mainly because these are people that are mostly talking bad about this, saying this the Western thing, what blah blah blah. Yet the Westerns are the same people who brought the religion, the leading. So religious leaders should be taught at the point so that they can ask the reputation. People whose people are very like community, like, so they have a very big impact on this. They speak out the right thing, people will learn and they will know. In schools, if in schools they're educating the real thing about LGBTI, the whole African community will understand that it's what it's about that that this community like limited teachers and same for spreading false information. First of all, those people need to be educated before the real about what ATI. So, and the positive instead of negative side that most people come out and about us. We need to be represented positively. As this is a natural thing, it's not a bad thing. Instead of coming out, it's a Western thing. Western people brought this and this and this, so and so and so, which is not right. So in the media, we need to be represented positively and emphasize it that it's a thing, not Western culture thing that they introduced into us. Thank you so much. Today.
Thank you very much, our viewers. Thank you very much, our producer, Mr. Brian, and thank you very much, Mr. Kato, for supporting us and always being there and giving us this platform to help us. So, me, I'm also finalizing. This is the church politicizing this culture, this thing is something. We have seen a lot of people in Africa, they are taught by the Westerners, and they appreciate it and they welcome it. So my view is let also welcome our race. The way we are born, let it be respected. Because we have seen a lot of people we have seen a lot of marriage breaking up and all those things because you are forced to do something that you don't want. You are forced to sleep with someone that you don't have feelings for. So they force you to marry a woman and you don't have any feelings for her. You destroy her life and your life get destroyed. Because after bringing her to your family, you have maybe waited her all those things, just pretending. Then after she has given birth, sometimes you find that you have just destroyed her future. So me as a person, I would say that let the religious leaders politicizing this thing, because they are the leader of, because like few days back I saw the churches in Botswana. They were striking over homosexuality. So I say that they are the leaders of this belief, and I think they are just putting in politics into this. So please, this is our right, and no one can say that you have to do this, because this is what I feel. Thank you very much for today's show. We are going to end up our show here, and we invite you to follow our pages and subscribe. You like. Thank you, our producer, for being there with us, and also I invite you to be with us on Wednesday next week. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.